Hey, large pepperoni pizza for Twitter?
Wise guy, you just walked out with it.
What are you talking about? I just parked my Tesla in front of the fire hydrant.
Hey Joey, tell this guy either he just walked out with his pizza or he's got a doppelganger that looks just like him.
By all accounts, Threads, Instagram's, or rather Meta's latest app, ate Twitter's lunch last week when it launched on July 6, 2023. And while it's being hailed as the most rapidly downloaded app, sitting at 86 million users as of Saturday, July 8th, and the Twitter killer, you as a small business owner could care less about the hype and probably have some very basic questions about the app, like, what is Threads all about? And how does it differ from Twitter? I mean, come on, did Instagram really just rip off Twitter? How easy or complicated it is to set up an account, and the pros and cons of using the Threads app to promote your small business, which I will cover all of those things in this video, so keep watching. Before we get started, I do want to encourage you to watch this video all the way through, because at the very end, I am going to be talking about one very big stipulation that you need to know about with the Threads app. So please watch the entire video before you decide to create an account, but let's go ahead and jump right into it. What is the Threads app? The Threads app is the latest app that Meta has released to rival Twitter. And if you're wondering why all of the publications and news outlets seem to attach the app to Instagram, well, it's because both of these apps are attached at the hip, quite literally. So you cannot create a Threads account without having an already established Instagram account. So you need one in order to establish the other. Threads, just like Twitter, is a real-time conversation-based app where users can post up to 500 characters and include links, photos, and videos up to 5 minutes in length. Is it exactly like Twitter? Well, there is a reason that we consider it Twitter's doppelganger. And here's the thing, even Mark Zuckerberg is having a field day with this one. He had not posted on Twitter for years. Actually, it had been over a decade since he had posted on Twitter. And then all of a sudden, on the same day that he launches Threads, he happens to post this tweet. Now, while Threads does look and function like Twitter, there are a few differences. Number one, the feed. So the feed on Threads is not in any chronological order, nor do they have a For You page or a Discover page at this point. So there is a difference right now as of July 8th. Now, granted, that will probably change over time as they roll out new features, but for now, it's just a free-for-all where you're seeing all kinds of content on the app. Now, I will say you're not seeing any of these suggested for you, which is great. So you're just seeing things from people that you're currently following. So it does kind of remind you a little bit of what Instagram was back in the day. Number two, functionality. Now, Threads doesn't quite have all of the same functionality as Twitter does. If you look at this screen right here, from the home screen, you have the following options on the bottom navigation bar: home, search, new thread, activity, which is where you find all of your activity replies and mentions, your profile, and then notice at the top you have three options: privacy, Instagram, which will take you back to your Instagram profile, and settings. Number three, control. So one of the big things that Meta is really pitching to us with the Threads app is that they're giving us more control over what we see on our feed. So for example, you can control who can mention you or reply to you within Threads. You can add hidden words to filter out replies to your threads that contain specific words. You can unfollow, block, restrict, or report a profile on Threads. And any accounts that you've blocked on Instagram will automatically be blocked on Threads as well. And number 4, decentralization. So Threads is based on this idea of having a decentralized social platform. So I'm calling BS on this, but let me explain first. When it comes to social media platforms, if you hear the term decentralized, what they basically mean is without walls. So think of it like this. If you were to go out and buy a Tesla and they were to tell you, this Tesla is so unique and different that you cannot take this Tesla to just any repair shop, you have to take it to a Tesla repair shop, then that would be a centralized system. Basically, you create an account on Twitter so that you can interact and follow and engage with other people that are on Twitter. It's all in a centralized environment. So on the flip side of that, if you were to buy a Tesla and they were to tell you, this Tesla is so unique and different that you can take it to any repair shop, that would be an example of a decentralized social media platform. Essentially, you could create a profile and you could interact with people on all different platforms. They wouldn't necessarily have to be on just one. Now, if we think about it, Meta has done this in some sort of way already. You could, let's say, create an Instagram profile and then take that profile onto the Threads app. See? Now, does that mean that Meta has created a decentralized social media platform already with the Threads app? Not necessarily, but what it does mean is that they are one step closer to it. And I'll be honest with you guys, here's the thing. Because of the way that they rolled this out so quickly and there aren't a whole lot of bells and whistles on the Threads app, you see that it's a very basic version of what they'll probably do. I'm guessing that they want to hurry up and get the information and data out there so that way they can see if their theory works, if they can in fact create a decentralized social media platform. So as of right now, Meta has Facebook and Instagram and Threads. And all of these are connected. You can connect your Facebook with your Instagram. You can access your Instagram messages through Facebook. And now you have Instagram, which is connected to Threads. And so you could toggle between the two really, really easily. My guess is right now they're working to figure out how their ecosystem could work even better. But here's the thing. Meta would have to dump a lot of resources and actually get other people outside of Meta involved and on board with creating a truly decentralized program or social media platform, which it seems like that is where they're going. They have already told us that they hope to utilize what they're calling ActivityPub, an open social networking platform or protocol. Now, they said in their press release that Threads is the first app that's going to be operable within this ActivityPub. I don't know exactly what all that means. Of course, we'll research it and share more of that with you in the near future as that gets hashed out. How easy is it to set up an account? Extremely easy. Literally, it takes a matter of seconds because it's already connecting to your Instagram account. So let me show you exactly how that works. Pros and cons of using Threads. Here's the thing, as an experienced marketing professional, I'm not going to recommend or tell you as a small business owner that you have to be on this app and to add it to your already long running list of apps that you're engaged in promoting your small business on. But what I am going to tell you is I'm going to present you with the pros and cons of the app And I strongly encourage you to listen to the very end, especially when it comes to the cons, and then make a decision from there. Is this something that you want to take on? Could it benefit your small business and help you promote your products and services? Or is it just going to be a flash in the pan and something that you think you want to do, but then really don't have the time for? So take all of that into consideration and do what's best for you as a small business owner. So let's start with the pros. It's new and Instagram is promoting it so heavily because they're trying to get as many people on the platform. So one of the tactics that they're using is they're making it really easy right now to grow your base or your followers on Threads. One of the ways that they're doing this is essentially anybody that follows you on Instagram. As soon as you create a Threads account and they create a Threads account, when they open the app for the first time, they're going to ping them and tell them that you are on Threads. And so therefore it gives them an opportunity to simply hit follow. So you're not having to actively do any of that. They basically are saying, if this person follows you on Instagram, we feel like they are likely to want to follow you on Threads. And so therefore they're making it really easy. I mean, literally, once you create an account, you're probably going to get at least 20 followers or however much, depending on how big your Instagram follower count is. Your Threads account will automatically show on your Instagram profile. Now, this is interesting because it does not show under your Threads username. So for example, our username on Instagram is The Seasoned Marketer, and it's also The Seasoned Marketer under the Threads app. However, it does not appear like that on our Instagram account. It actually appears as a number. Now, what's interesting is a lot of people don't know that is the user number that I came in at for the app. So think about that. Anyone that has 1 or 2 or whatever the lowest number is, 100, they were the first 100 people to actually sign up to use the Threads app. Simple format and no monetization. Because the app is so brand new, Meta still isn't pumping it full of ads yet, and it hasn't quite launched any of those monetization requirements or anything like that. Now, the feed itself is also extremely simple, and so it does remind you a lot of what Instagram and Facebook used to be back in the day. And so if you're looking for a low-key way to be able to interact with people and just have more of a conversation-based interaction, then Threads is probably something you would enjoy at this point. So it is very similar to Twitter in that sense, but because it is newer, it's not really as, I don't want to say dark as Twitter is, because I don't necessarily think Twitter is dark, but then again, I don't spend a whole lot of time on it either. It's just a different vibe at this point. So it is nice to be able to have something that's simple and clean and isn't bogged down with a ton of ads. Not that that's going to be the case forever, but it is as of July of 2023. Now let's review the cons. Remember I told you to watch this video to the very end because there was a very big stipulation that you had to know about when you were joining Threads. Well, here it is. If you try to delete your Threads account, you're going to have to delete your Instagram account. So because the two are so connected at the hip, there is no way for you to delete your Threads account without deleting your Instagram account. So you're pretty much just stuck with your Threads account unless you're willing to delete both of them. But it goes even further than that. They're so intertwined that if you get banned on Threads, you're also going to get banned on Instagram. If you change your Threads username, you're going to have to change your Instagram username. So it's great that they're, making it super convenient for us to sign up for it, but this can create a problem if you are looking to, let's say, attach it to a personal account, and what you share on your Instagram account is going to be different than when you're sharing on your Threads account. If one of them is business related, strictly business related, and the other one is personal, you may just want to give a little more forethought to that, so that way you don't end up in a situation where you're using Threads for personal use and then you get banned, which I don't know why you would, but if you were to get banned on there, and then it's going to delete your Instagram business account. Just be careful with all of that. Data collection. We all know that Meta is notorious for collecting a bunch of information and sometimes not being super transparent about what they're using it for. So this is not going to be any different with Threads. With Threads, what is different is you are not only allowing them, because Meta owns Threads, to collect the data that's listed under the Meta privacy policy, which if you want to go check that out, you can find it at that website right there. But you are also bound by a Threads supplemental privacy policy. Yeah, so it's got a separate one to go along with the bigger Meta privacy policy. Now, if you want to check that one out, go to this website right here. And of course, it does also mention third-party partners. Definitely go check both of those websites out, because I think it's really important that you know the type of data they're collecting and also what they're using that data for. Now, if you have been on Facebook or Instagram for any amount of time, you know that these apps evolve pretty quickly on the drop of a dime. So Meta likes to keep things fresh, and we can expect 100% to see the Threads app do the same. So basically, the Threads app that we see today in July of 2023 is not going to be the Threads app that we see by December of 2023, or probably even by September of 2023. So just know that there are going to be lots of changes, and of course, at some point, they're going to be monetizing off of it. So the app itself may turn into something that's even more like Twitter, or perhaps something that's less like Twitter. It's all up in the air at this point, but I am curious to see in what direction this is heading in, and also how Meta is going to utilize the information they're getting right now as a test pilot, I think, for a decentralized system. So it's going to be interesting to see what that turns into. Now, we have joined the Threads app, and if you would like to follow us, you can find us under The Seasoned Marketer. If you have also joined and would like for us to follow you, go ahead and drop your handle below, and we will definitely give you a follow. Hey, if you're an SOB, a small-owned business, stick around and watch this next video right here, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel right now so that you can access all 200 plus marketing videos that we have available for you to watch today. Don't forget, we also have a website at www.theseasonedmarketer.com where we have freebies for you to download today, and courses and workshops to help you grow your small business.